Hey everyone, it's Nina from Roadie Free Radio. In this clip, Larry talks to TJ Hoffman, PM, TM, and the filmmaker behind Roadie, my documentary. Here's TJ on how he went from always being behind the scenes to being the guy in front of the camera. If you want to hear more from TJ, you can listen to the full episode, number 150 from October 14th, 2019. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Here is Larry and TJ Hoffman.
So you started the film 8 years ago, is that what you said?
So it's weird. It started, even started a little long ago, but it started as a reality show.
Okay.
Like 06, 07, there was these terms in Hollywood, in LA, there was a writer's strike was going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? So this new thing, reality TV is going to come out.
Right.
So as I'm writing my book about this kid from New Jersey who knows nothing about instruments and I'm not a skilled musician, to go and my career 20 years later to share a stage with the biggest band in the world, Kiss, like people wanted to know that story.
Sure.
So I'm not doing anything at the time. I'm playing a lot. I'm working construction work, playing a lot of golf. I started to write a book.
Yep.
My buddy in LA calls me. He's like, TJ, stop the book. There's this reality thing. Like, I'm going to give you a couple ideas. Go get a camera. We're gonna build this thing. I have an idea.
Yeah.
So that started as that, and it started to grow. Friends of mine in LA says, "Wow, you're pretty good at this. This is really cool." And then we did like another concept with horses, and I started to build these other reality shows.
Okay. Getting
Getting back to Roadie, we pitched it to LA. It was going places. Everybody loved it. All these production companies loved it. I was in production, pitch meeting number 4, right. And the meeting I had an hour ago, they're texting me like, come back, we want to talk to a deal, we want to make a deal. Like, my head got so big.
Of course.
Like, this is great. Okay, we finally made it. Like, this is going to be huge. It got to a level in Hollywood where musicians and television banged heads, right? So you can't shoot this guy with next to this guitar player, right, who's got separate management, with this amplifier in the same shot. You got to have separate. It was like nuts, right? So, again, on my dime, flying back and forth to LA, it got crazy. I stopped. We got out of the deal. I just shelved it all. Fast forward a couple years. Now I got all this footage, all this work that I did. Besides the money that I put out, I'm in California with my friends. We're between tours, and it was, what are you going to do now? And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, just put all this shit together and make a documentary. Now, this is like, I don't want to know. It's 2012, 2013, where I really started to take it serious and say, documentary. And, 6 years ago, there's a third, I should even say a lot less documentaries than are out now, right?
Sure.
Everybody's a documentary filmmaker now.
Yeah.
Back then, it was like a new thing. All right, kind of cool, right? Then 20 Feet from Stardom came out. I'm like, all right, now this is what I need to do.
Yep.
It won all kinds of awards. It made a lot of money. The guy sold it for a lot of money.
Yep.
So now those wheels are spinning in my head. All right, let me monetize on everything that I've done. Yep. Let me tell this story.
Right.
Right.
And at the time, was it your story that you were going to tell? Were you always conscious? No, you were always going to tell, or you set out to tell the story of the road, I guess, or of the roadie, or what it means to be a roadie or a tech, whatever you want to call it. We're just going to call it roadie for now.
Right.
Right. But somewhere in there you shifted and you decided, I got to put me in here.
No, totally wrong.
Okay.
You fucked that all up, Larry. So, yes, it did shift. I had this vision, 6-7 years ago about what a documentary should be, like a Ken Burns type of thing, right? You want to take somebody that knows nothing about the road and live entertainment, and you want to educate the viewer.
Yeah.
Right. So I also wanted to educate the viewer, but I wanted to make it fun, and I wanted them to be interested, and I want them to walk away. That you could sit on a couch, you could sit with your kids, you could watch it. And at the end of it, you can go, wow, I didn't know that. That was really cool.
Right.
And it gives you a different perspective on a live entertainment industry. So when you're going to pay $150 for a ticket at a show, now you're going to start to understand where all that $150 goes to, right? So it's not going in the band's pocket.
That's part of why I do the show.
Right.
So people can see, like, wow.
You get it. You must know something about the roadie world before.
I know
it sounds
a little
like
bit.
Educated.
Yeah, I've done a couple interviews prior to this one.
So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to educate the viewer, right?
Yeah.
And make them feel at home and appreciate these guys, us guys, our family,
Yeah.
right? Because nobody gets paid. It's a somewhat of a thankless job for the most part.
You're making $5 a day.
So started to do interviews, started to call friends and family first, my peers in the business, whoever I can get close enough to either, I had a friend in Orange County, California, who was helping me with my West Coast interviews. And then I have my friend Andy Stroll, he's the other director, producer, editor for this film on the East Coast. And all my footage from the years, my home 8mm footage and mini DV footage, little by little, I was feeding him the information because I didn't want it to be my story.
Right.
I wanted to be able to be the big shot producer. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to be the first guy that's going to tell the story, and nobody knows about it. There's no other Roadie documentaries out there. It's going to be big. It's going to be $1 million budget. I'm going to make $5 million. Like, it was crazy thoughts as a younger
I got 'em.
Dreamer. Right. So as I'm feeding Andy my home footages, and we're basically using that as placeholders, he says, let me interview you, right? Because you know what you want the film to be. So let me interview you with some questions, and we'll use those as placeholders until we get somebody else to say that. All right, that's going to help us tie the knot, right? So unlike your movie, I have no script, right? It's a doc. I have an outline. We built chapters of how it should structurally flow, and trying to follow the documentary, the filmmaker's Bible, right? How it's got to have the arc and this and that, and the protagonist and antagonist. Like, fuck me, it's a documentary. I want to do a little bit something different. So Andy filmed me in 2014. In my construction office, just random questions. Didn't think anything of it. Then he interviewed me one other time as we're building this film, and the thread's starting to tie together, and how he's going to edit with what we have. And then we can kind of see what we're missing and who I need to talk to that's important, and see where it goes from there. And then we were about 85% there done. He says, TJ, we got to do one more interview. And as this is going, he's showing me little clips, and I'm still in the cut. And he's got footage of 1992, and he's showing this. I'm like, what's that for? He's like, just hold on. Wait till it's done. Don't judge yet. Just look at it and think about it. But shut the fuck up. Let me do my job, because I'm not an editor. Okay, I trust you. He's a great storyteller. We did the last interview with me at the Paramount Theater in Asbury Park. My very good friend Jason Dermer, who runs all the production in Asbury Park, New Jersey, gave us some access, helped me out.
Was this 2018?
This was 18. This was last year.
So this is the interview that's mainly featured. It's in like black and white.
Correct. And when he said, bring some road cases and let's do this, and now I'm like, all right, there's gonna be me in it. I gotta swallow that and accept it. He put the cut together and basically told my story, and then we salt and peppered everybody in between. Still, like, I can't wrap my head around me on camera. I'm not used to that. Very weird. To this day, Larry, I'm not used to it. I don't like it somewhat. I showed it to a couple of friends, people that I trust in the business.
Oh, no. Before you start showing it to some people, now you see the cut, and you see your story. You see your life that was on the road, that got you out of the road, unfold in front of you. What was that like?
It was very strange, very weird. Again, I didn't want to be on that side of the camera, but it made sense. So I flashed back 6 months, and I try to get in Andy's head, like, okay, now I know why he wanted me to do this. Now I know why he wanted footage of this European tour with Agnostic Front in '97, and why he wanted me to reach out to this guy. It made sense.
Was there a part of you that was like, no, this is not the movie I want to make?
To this day, I say that, Larry. To this day.
Hey, what's happening, Roadies? It's Larry here. Just wanted to thank you so much for listening to this short clip. I really hope you got something out of it. If you can take 2 seconds to head over to iTunes and drop us a review or a comment, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Keep listening, keep coming back, stay healthy out there, and remember, no roadies, no rock and roll.